Good afternoon, everyone. It is Tuesday afternoon. Definitely a blessing to be on here yet at one more time. Definitely a blessing. So I apologize for missing a couple days and had some stuff going on. Life happens. So today we're going to talk about boycotting. I bring that up because we know that currently there's a boycott against Target, boycott against Anheuser-Busch, specifically the Bud Light brand. Looks like there's going to be some more boycotts coming down the road, potentially Chick-fil-A and others. But specifically Target and Bud Light are the two big ones right now. And I guess the real question is, are they working? Well, they're definitely losing money. They're losing money in the billions. So whether they're working or not, I don't, that would be something, the company would have to determine, obviously. But they're losing money. But is it making a difference? Well, currently, no, it's not making a difference. At least from what, we've read or whatnot. Yes, they're losing money, and lots of money. But neither Target nor Bud Light, for the most part, that I'm aware of, are backing down. Now, I read something before I got off today that potentially one Target started to take some stuff down, and when they did, they received a bomb threat. So, this is why catering to one side or another is never the right thing to do. Being yourself is always the right thing to do, regardless if people agree with you or not. Because the simple fact of the matter is that when you change to cater to somebody, in the end, you're going to lose because you're not being authentic or yourself. So in this case, if this one particular Target that did this and then received those bomb threats would have just said, no, we're not going to promote anything other than our product, and just stuck to that and not try to drive an agenda, then I think they'd have been fine, because they'd have stuck to their guns. Yeah, you'd made some folk upset, but you would have been authentic, and people can respect people who are authentic. Okay? But what's happening with Target and Bud Light specifically is that they're trying to cater, right or wrong, to the LGBTQ community by promoting their agenda, which, as you all know, I don't agree with. They have every right to live whatever way they want to live. I got no issues with that. My issue is trying to promote an agenda and then trying to force people to accept that agenda. That's the problem I have. And now, private Target and Anheuser-Busch, specifically Bud Light, are private companies. They can do whatever they want. I have no issues with that. They can do whatever they want. But when you do stuff like that, you have to be careful of the backlash in whatever you do. Okay? In whatever you do, you got to prepare yourself for the backlash, whatever agenda you try to promote. Okay? There's no favoritism when it comes to promoting an agenda. You're you're gonna irk somebody's feelings regardless. So in saying that, I think boycotts can be very successful and can accomplish the mission that it's intended to do. The question is how long. And that's the question, because when companies like Target and Anheuser-Busch, who have loads of money, are yet still continuing to promote the LGBTQ agenda despite losing billions with a B, they've dug in. Who's going to win? More than likely the people who enacted the boycott. Because after a while, the companies are going to get tired of losing money. Because in the end, it's about the bottom line. In the end, it's that private companies are worried about the bottom line, period. It's all about making profit. And when you're losing money, you're not only messing up the bottom line, you're losing profit. Okay? So, in the end, the people who enacted the boycott probably will win. But how long it's going to take to get that victory is the question. I have no problems with boycotts. I think boycotts can be effective. Boycotts do accomplish a mission. A lot of times boycotts are the only way that common people can get their point across. Hence the reason why you boycott something. The majority of this country do not agree with the LGBTQ agenda. It's not that they're against people living their lives however they want to do it. That's not the issue. Because I would argue that most people, even if they don't agree with it, don't have no issues with people living their life the way they want to. I'm one of them. I don't agree with it, but guess what? You can live your life any way you want to. As long as you're not trying to push it on me, I ain't got no problems with you. Do you? But the problem is that this agenda is being shoved down our throats, not only by private corporations, not only by the media, but by the government as well. The government should be impartial. The media should be impartial. Now, whether a private company should be impartial, that's the company's business. They're a private company. They can do whatever they want. The Constitution doesn't necessarily apply to private organizations. Okay? It does to certain areas of the business, but for the most part, when you work for the federal government, you either comply or you're gone. But in a private business, that owner can do whatever they want to. If you don't like it, go find another job. They have every right to fire whomever they want. The government has no say-so in it. They're a private company. So these standards that we're applying to these private companies should not be, most of it shouldn't be applied because they're private companies. They can dictate what they want to in their business. So for instance, when that bakery didn't want to make that cake for that particular person who was gay and was getting married, I think, that's that company's right to deny their business. They're a private company. See, federal government, state governments can't do that. But a private company can. And they had every right to deny business. Every right. They have every right to hire whomever they want. They're a private business. So a boycott is the common man's weapon in trying to let whomever they're boycotting know that we don't like what you're doing or we don't agree with what you're doing. And the best way to hurt a company is to hit that pocketbook. That's the best way to do it. In the military, the best way to punish somebody, hit that pocketbook. Take away their money. That's the best way to punish companies and organizations. Hit their bottom line. Hit that profit. I guarantee they'll change. And I guarantee that Target and Bud Light eventually will capitulate to the boycotts. Whether they like it or not is irrelevant. Again, this is not about what you like or what you believe in or what you think is right. It's about the bottom line. And private companies are all about the bottom line and the profit. That's what they're about. And when you affect that, things tend to change. So hence the reason the boycotts are in effect, because people want it to enact change. And they know just how to do it. I don't agree with what Bud Light and Target are doing. I don't agree with it at all. I don't agree with homosexuality as a lifestyle. Again, you're free to live whatever you want to live. I ain't going to judge you on that. You ask me a direct question, I'm going to give you a direct answer. If you ask me a direct question that do you think homosexuality is wrong? Yes, I'm going to answer yes, it is. But if you're just living your life and you're just doing your thing, I ain't going to bother you. That's your choice. You have a choice to live that way. Right, wrong, or indifferent. You have every right to do that. And Bud Light and Target have every right to advertise whatever they want and promote whatever they want. But make sure you're ready to deal with the consequences. Chick-fil-A, talking about hiring a diversity and inclusion person. Now they're talking about, boycotting Chick-fil-A. Probably one of the most successful companies in America right now, especially when it comes to customer service. Not a smart move on Chick-fil-A's part, who basically promote Christian values. Not a smart move. Why would you need somebody to promote diversity and inclusion if you've never had a problem with diversity and inclusion because people know what you stand for? That's my question. Why capitulate to the world when nobody had an issue with you in the first place? They know where you stand, Chick-fil-A. They know they know your customer service is second to none. They know that's what your company is known for, is exceptional customer service. Why would you need to do that? Why would you need to feel? Why do you feel the need to do that? Well, only Chick-fil-A can answer that question. Again, if these companies and organizations would just be authentic to who they are, then people will respect them instead of being wishy-washy. Are there going to be people out there that'll hate you? Of course there will be. You might as well expect it. They're going to call you every name under the sun and try to cancel you. But stay true to who you are as a company. If your company doesn't believe in that, then don't capitulate. Stand your ground. People respect you for standing your ground and being authentic to who you are, even if they don't agree with you. At least they know where you stand. Okay? Boycotting is a tool to let companies and organizations and people in general know where you stand. And boycotting lets that company, organization, or person or people know that you don't agree with what they're doing. So the way to affect change is to hit that pocketbook. Is to take away that money. That's how you enact change. Talking about it ain't going to do nothing. Going on social media for the most part ain't going to do nothing. But hit that pocketbook. I guarantee you make some change then. That's what's good about boycotting. Will these two boycotts specifically, and there are others, make a change? I think they will. I think in the end, the people that enacted the boycotts will win. But it takes patience, and it takes determination, and it takes staying the course. for a boycott to be successful. Because boycotts, for the most part, aren't instantaneous. They take work. They take time to become successful. Okay, boycotting is similar to protesting. Protests don't enact change immediately. It takes time. It takes time. Anything that you're going to do right takes time. Anything that happens instantaneously is probably not been done right and won't last. Anything that you're going to do right is going to take time. Reputations take time. Work ethic takes time. Movements take time. These things take time. Excuse me. These things take time. So anything that you do right is going to take time. Nothing is microwave. That's done right. So the people who are doing these boycotts need to be consistent, be determined, and stay the course if they want change. Change is a difficult thing. And just because change is difficult doesn't mean it's either bad or good, it's both. Change is a difficult process. I'm about to go through change here next week. And initially it's going to be difficult, but it's good change. But it's going to be difficult initially. But it's going to take time to adjust. It's going to take time to get a hang of all the different and new things I'm going to be doing. It takes time. There's only one person I know that can make change instantaneous, and that's God. And most of the time, he don't do instantaneous change. He wants to see if you really want it. Takes time. He wants to see if you're serious about it. Takes time. I'll just use me as an example. I'm about to leave a job that I've been on almost 18 years. Continuous. 18 years. I have been discriminated against. I have been held back. I have been told that I'm not good enough. I have been told that I am. I've been accused of many things that I didn't do. I have been held from jobs that I know I was qualified for because they didn't like me or I didn't fit the profile. And in this case, at the Birmingham VA Medical Center, if you're not black and female, for the most part, you don't fit the profile because that's the majority of the folks that work there. Every job that I apply for and every job I've been denied for has been filled by somebody who is black and female. Everyone. But I had to endure all of that. Told I wasn't good enough. Told that I wasn't the employee they wanted. I'm not the person they're looking for. Even though I had got performance appraisals that every performance appraisal that I have received in 18 years has been fully successful or above. Every one. But I yet wasn't good enough to get a promotion. I yet wasn't good enough to get another job. To include outside the VA, because they had blackballed me and blacklisted me. And even though people tell me, oh, well, we don't do that, they lie. Because supervisors and managers and chiefs can do whatever they want because they have the power. And the supervisors and chiefs that I've served under chose to keep me where I was at and to stymie my professional career at my expense, so they either could prove a point or they could say they could do it just because they wanted to do it because they didn't like me for whatever reason. But change is a process. It took me 18 years to get the job I'm about to get next week. Friday is my last day in working with the Birmingham VA Medical Center. Everybody's experience at the Birmingham VA Medical Center is not my experience. Some people love it there and have thrived there. Good for them. Mine wasn't that experience. I was done wrong so many times, I can't even count them anymore. I yet had to endure. One, because I'm a father and a husband, and it's my job to take care of my wife and kids. And two, I had to go through the process. I had to endure all that. Was I perfect through it? Of course not. Did I struggle through it? Of course I did. But God had a plan for me, and it took 18 years to get to where I'm about to go next week. I'm about to take a job that, even though I'm going down a grade, I'm making more money going down a grade. And in 3 years, I'll have jumped 6 grades. You can't tell me God ain't good. You can't tell me that it was worth, even though I didn't see it, and I definitely complained, if I'm being perfectly honest. And complain gets you nowhere. And I had to learn that the hard way. You can't tell me that that the process wasn't worth it. You can't tell me. You can't tell me the process wasn't worth it. That after 18 years of being in the same grade for the most part. No, I take that back. I got promoted 1 grade, but it was because we were already doing the work, and the supervisor at the time was able to get us a grade up, even though I was already doing the work and I was a senior. So it was almost an automatic thing. Okay, so I got promoted once in 18 years, but that was at the big. It was probably about almost 12 years back. So I've been at my particular grade over 12 years. Not for lack of trying, not for applying, not for not being qualified, but because somebody or some people didn't like me and was going to punish me for it, and they did. Or at least they thought they did. I had to go through the process of 18 years of suffering to get where I'm about to get to next week. Even though I'm going down one grade, I'm making more money going down than I am currently. And in 3 years, I'll go up 6 grades in total. For 18 years of suffering, I'll be 6 grades higher where I probably should have been if they wouldn't have held me back. You have to go through the process to enact change. The people who are enacting these boycotts have to be able to endure to get the change that they desire. Boycotts are effective. But you have to be able to go through the process to get the desired outcome. So far, so far, the boycotts are working as far as hitting the wallet. They're definitely hitting the money. They're definitely hitting the money. They're definitely hitting the money. But they have to endure longer for the companies to reverse their position if they choose to do so. Because again, these companies have a lot of money even though they're losing a lot of money. But pretty soon it's going to come to a tipping point. So, what do I think about boycotts? They are effective. They do work when the people enacting them are patient and are willing to go through the process, through all the ups and downs. Boycotts can work. Protests are the same way. Protests are the same way. So, hey, if you got any comments about the current boycotts or any other boycotts that are going on, specifically the two that I mentioned here, you got a testimonial about change that you've been through and that you had to go through a process, go ahead and leave your comments below. If you like what you hear, like, subscribe, hit that notification bell, tell your friends about it. I'd love to hear from you. Change is difficult, but it is attainable. And I just use the two biggest boycotts as an example that change can happen. You just gotta be able to go through the process. With anything, there's a process. Okay, change is not instantaneous unless it's enacted by God Himself. Change is not instantaneous. There's a process. And you got to be willing to go through the process. Even God's not going to force somebody to change. You got to want to change. These boycotts, these people that started these boycotts, they got to want the change so bad they're willing to stick with it as long as they have to. So that was my little rant for today about boycott, the current boycotts and change. Just using the two big boycotts that are going on right now as an analogy for change. Because they're trying to enact change. They're trying to change the policies of the two companies who have every right to do whatever they want. But when you do something, expect that there are going to be consequences, good or bad, or both. And don't be wishy-washy about what your company stands for. If you don't agree with a certain policy, then don't try to, don't try to, kowtow to anybody's agenda. Stick to your guns. If you truly believe in what you stand for, you'll stick to your guns. So anyways, I'm done. I'm through. Hope you enjoyed this. I'm grateful for a couple of videos back. 84 views. That's amazing. I thank each and everybody that viewed it. Thank you for a new member. I don't know who you are, but thank you. And just thank everybody for allowing me to post these videos and for you, taking the time out to watch them. I appreciate it. There's no little I, no big you, whatever it is. I appreciate everybody. So until hopefully tomorrow, we will talk then, hopefully on another subject. And See you tomorrow. God bless you.